Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Kaduchu. Please sit down. My colleagues, the Honorable Ministers of State present here this afternoon, the PS for the Ministry of Education and Sports, and your team, the Chairperson of UNEB, the Executive Director for UNEB and your team, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you and Happy New Year to you all. I wish to first of all thank God for the very gift of life and for a new year, and that He is so gracious to us that we all are here. None of us is missing. We must remember to thank Him for His faithfulness. He has indeed enabled us as a ministry and as a country to complete the 2023 school calendar activities, now culminating in the release of the 2023 primary living examination results. We thank God for the lives of our children, their parents, and teachers who have worked with them throughout their primary education cycle. We also condole with the families that may have lost their children to one cause or another, as well as teachers who passed away on duty. The calling upon teachers the calling on teachers, we must always remember, is a special calling. It is unique because it is sacrificial, and much cannot be accomplished in the learner's time in school when the teacher is unavailable. You all heard for yourselves the statement of release of results by the Executive Director of UNEB. I note that the number of learners who were registered for the PLE in 2023 decreased compared with what we had in 2022, and you had the explanation for that. The decrease was anticipated as the impact of COVID-19 on the education system started to wane, and so is the distortion in enrollment in the pre-primary 7 classes, especially P6. The major COVID-19 recovery intervention that is still underway in the education sector is implementation of the abridged curriculum. I have been informed by the National Curriculum Development Center that the P7 and S4 cohorts of 2024 are the last classes of learners utilizing the abridged curriculum. Thereafter, we shall be using the full primary school curriculum and the revised O-level curriculum after this year. I'm happy to see that this year, the negative development of absentee candidates to PLE has been reversed. In fact, the rate has come down to the lowest level compared to the previous 5 years, as you heard Mr. Odong inform us and inform the country. Nonetheless, 1.6% or 12,000 pupils who were absent remains a large number. When a child fails to show up for the end of cycle examination, it is a wastage of that life which had spent 6 to now 7 years, and then the government spent the resources for the entire education system, and then the families who are working with these children. When this child doesn't sit their exam, it is truly a pity for the whole system. Therefore, I reiterate the appeal I made last year to the parents and to the teachers to ensure that a child who has been registered to sit their end of cycle examination does not miss doing so. Whereas I recognize the great strides the country has made, taken in bringing about gender parity in access to primary education for boys and girls, I observe the concerning trend regarding the poor child. The statistics from UNEP indicate that we are now seeing an undesirable trend whereby more and more girls are completing the primary education cycle while boys are increasingly dropping out. This is a moment for us as a sector to look back and reflect on this undesirable trend. Why is a boy child not completing primary education? We must all begin to get worried and try to find out what is the answer to this question. We need to prescribe solutions that address the fundamental causes to prevent this negative trend from getting out of control. Now, I must continue to thank UNEP for the amount of work they do to ensure that our children with special learning needs are adequately prepared to take the examination. In my view, the number of special needs education learners who sit PLE are increasing, not because we are having more children with disabilities, but the sensitization being done and realization by more parents that these children must not be kept at home, but that they also must go to school, just like all other children. I appreciate the concern by the chairperson that the provision of the necessary accommodation, devices and personnel for the special needs candidates is costing the examination process for this category of learners a lot more money, as you heard him inform us. We shall study further this area of assessment and examination of special needs learners and see what feasible interventions we need to make in a manageable manner without compromising the quality of education this category of learners assesses and attains. From the Executive Director's report, I observed that a high number of candidates did not attain the grades where one would be considered as having passed. Therefore, quality for the PLE certificate, they didn't qualify for the PLE certificates. Government is going to ensure that this trend is reversed right from its root cause. That said, as government, we need to provide a pathway of hope to these learners. Therefore, I have instructed the Permanent Secretary for the Ministry of Education and Sports to communicate to the respective accounting officers in the local governments that such learners be accorded an opportunity to repeat primary 7 in all public primary schools. And then we can all work hard with them to better their grades to a level where they can qualify for the various opportunities of education beyond primary 7. Meaning, as the children try to work hard themselves, the parents must support them, the teachers must support them, and also the Ministry of Education do everything it will take to support these children so that we see them through this level of education so that they too can at least get a certificate for primary education as they go out into the world. Even if they don't continue, but at least they have that certificate in their hands. Furthermore, as a ministry, we are going to have to review the arrangement where learners were being progressed to the next class before attaining the minimum knowledge and skills as evidence of learning. This means that the head teachers and classroom teachers alike need to be thorough with what continuous assessment is supposed to help these children. It is a disservice to move a learner to the next level when you, as a teacher or head teacher, very well know that the child has not demonstrated minimum mastery of the appropriate knowledge and skills in the previous class. It is a disservice to that child. It is a service to the whole system of education. Therefore, I ask the Directorate of Education Standards to work with the district education officers to ensure that capacity is built in our schools to utilize formative assessment, because promoting a learner to the next class simply because the year has come to an end is a disservice to that child, to education, and to the country. That said, now, allow me to also appreciate the efforts of the various security agencies of government that jointly support UNEP in achieving our ministry mandate during these end-of-cycle examinations. I call upon the Uganda Police Force and the judiciary to help us bring to book those persons proven to be complicit in any form of examination malpractice. The act of assisting learners to cheat in examination erodes the confidence and credibility of the entire education system and the integrity of the country at large. When such learners who cheat go through unmasked, it communicates a bad image to the peers and models a terrible trend in education and in examination. I now congratulate the candidates who have performed well and thank everyone who played a role in bringing forth the achievement of the 2023 PLE. I thank the immediate former chairperson of UNEB, Professor Mary Okokor, because most of the 2023 UNEB exams were prepared during her term of office, as you heard from the present chairperson. With that, I welcome Professor Obubaka as well as a new chairperson, and I trust that he will build on the strong foundations his predecessor laid down. Lastly, I'd like to inform the public that the selection exercises of Senior 1 will take place on the 1st and 2nd of February 2024. Thereafter, the first term for the Senior 1 cohort of 2024 will start on Monday the 19th February 2024. I want to repeat that. The selection exercise for Senior 1 will take place on the 1st and 2nd of February 2024. Thereafter, first term for the Senior 1 cohort of 2024 will start on Monday, the 19th February 2024. It is now my pleasure to release the 2023 primary living examination results for public use, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Mama, before you go, we want to have a photo moment where the ministers of state join you there as you officially release the results. Honorable Myingo, Honorable Kaduchu, and Honorable Gwang, please join Mama. And Chair UNEB and the Executive Director. Thank you so much, Mama, our Honorable Ministers of State in Education, the Chairperson UNEB, and Executive Director UNEB, Daniel Odong. As Mama